Right, I'm going to try to explain how the Fender brace addresses torque steer and as well as bump steer. My fingers represent the apron. The apron is what your fenders bolts up to, and the pen represents the rack and pinion. When you hit a bump, the shock absorbs the majority of the impact, but some of that is transferred into the apron, so the apron actually lifts up. Now, because the rack is bolted on the apron, at least on the bottom part of it, it causes the rack to rotate. So because you're holding your steering wheel straight, when you hit the bump, the shock compresses, causing the apron to lift, and the rack turns a little bit. So that causes your wheels to actually turn some, and that's where you get the bump steer from. As far as how it takes care of torque steer, how it reduces a lot of it is you don't have equal length drive shafts on front wheel drive cars. At least I don't think there's any that I know of that has equal length drive shafts. The one I believe with the longer drive shaft tends to put more torque into the apron. So once again, the apron starts to flex, and you get the same effect. When the apron flexes, the rack and pinion rotates, causing the wheels causing the wheel to turn. There's more to it than that. There's also some torque being generated into the wheel just from the length of the drive shaft. But this is why you get a big reduction of it, because it's not doing this anymore. That's what the that's what the fender brace does. It prevents the aprons from rotating. Also, as far as when you're cornering, well, I tell people it reduces their turning radius, and I get a lot of slack from that. When there's an experiment I did with a Sentra, and basically we turned the steering wheel, we cocked it all the way left, and when we cocked it left, we drew a box right up against the tire. It was a 12-inch box with a 6-inch line in the center, and we pushed the car. We pushed the car in a circle, and we came back to the same spot. Now, you're never going to experience your factory turning radius. Now, when we drove it at only 10 miles per hour, the apron starts to flex. So because it flexes, the wheels don't track the same, and it actually grew 6 inches. And that was at only 10 miles per hour. Then we did it again with the fender braces, and with the fender braces we drove at 15 miles per hour, and it maintained the same track as when we pushed it. So the actual hole diameter never grew. So technically speaking, does it reduce your turning radius? No. But because you never experience your OEM turning radius, yes, it reduces your turning radius, depending on how you look at it. This actually lets you feel what your OEM turning radius feels like.